She says to me, I'm going to need a fifth birthday vacation. I'm making the show.
That probably would have been a good opening if you didn't blip out.
Damn internet.
Oh man, that's bad.
All right, start the show, Frank. Give them
Buckle up, folks. Here we go. Anthony on Air podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. First topic we're going to have tonight, Bill Barr blasts Donald Trump. If you're not on Donald Trump's good side, you get shit on, and then you got to blast him back. Prince Andrew. It's an advertisement. Prince Andrew? That's weird. Armie Hammer documentary coming out. Let's talk about that. Regis and McDonalds? Regis as in Regis Philbin? Isn't he long gone? More SNL exits. Yeah, a lot more people jumping ship. What else we got? Mini croissant cereal. That sounds gross. Florida Georgia line. Yeah, their last show. And naked carjacking. That sounds fun. The Biden speech, also fun. J-Sab's on vacay yet again. What the hell? I think you're back.
What the hell, indeed. Yeah, I like the way you do it, though. All right, we got a couple more quickly. Ready? Go.
Kanye Rants, baby. You suck.
You did good. You handled it very, very well. Yeah, J Sabs is on her like fifth birthday vacation. I don't know how it works anymore.
It's not even the same month anymore. We're in a new month.
We're in a new month. She's just, I don't know. She's crazy. She's taking off. Give me a reset on yours, big dog. I'm gonna get things started. I'm gonna get the party started.
Reset on mine?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Internet issues continue. Thanks a lot, government. Thanks for slowing everything down.
Bunch of crap.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And again, the Trump raid continues. The big story today, obviously, Bill Barr went on Fox News and spoke his mind about what transpired with the raid and what the next steps are for President Trump. And I think it's pretty interesting because, again, you'll have your people who are just like, oh, I'm on Trump's side, so Bill Barr sucks. Then you have your other people that are like, well, Bill Barr was pretty fair throughout his entire Trump presidency. He defended the guy an awful lot. He didn't prosecute the guy when the Mueller stuff came around. He was pretty loyal and faithful there. He obviously was not on President Trump's side when it came to the January 6th issues. So there was that. So when you think about it all in all, Bill Barr has been pretty fair down the line when it comes to these issues, but he was not on President Trump's side today when he went on Fox News. He basically took issue with a lot of things he said, and we'll go through each one of those issues as he brought them up. He says that Trump's request for a special master is probably a little too late and a bit of a red herring. Basically, kind of making the point. What's that?
Herring.
A red herring.
You said herring. Just got to be nitpicky when it comes to you.
Who's herring? Red herring.
Yeah, you said herring.
Did I?
All right, I got to leave again because my internet sucks.
I can't see it, but I can't hear you. Anyway. Red herring. I said it right. Fuck him. What did I say? Herring. I said it right. Yeah. I'm gonna fire Frank for the show. He's too critical of my mistakes. I don't know if anyone can hear me right now. It looks like I'm flipping in and out. I don't know what's happening with the internet in our studio. I'm so glad I paid extra fucking money for the super duper high speed internet. That fucking shitty ass cable company can charge us for. Fucking and insane. I don't even want to tell people what we're paying for fucking internet service that doesn't work. Piece of shit company. Pieces of shit. Yes, I apologize for the technical glitches here so far to start the show. It's been a great start to the show. Yeah, the high speed. Yeah, high speed's paying off. This is the biggest fucking ripoff besides contributing to the Trump campaigns. Is this fucking internet they got? By the way, let me just share with everybody how shitty it is here on Long Island. We literally have one internet company to choose from. You think you live in America, but you don't. We have one internet company to choose from where I live on Long Island. I cannot go anywhere else for internet. Now, Merkel7 says internet sucks in New York. I want to know where you are. Oh, Mercury. Sorry. I thought it was Merkel. I love your emoji picture, by the way. I want to know where you are because you are like the fifth person I've talked to in New York that has complained about the internet in the last 2 or 3 months. Something is going on here because all throughout the pandemic, when everybody was home and everybody had nothing to do but be on their internet at home, we had no issues. We had smooth sailing. I don't understand what happened. Now there should be less people on the internet, and all of a sudden we're having fucking problems left and right. I don't understand it. Make America great again. My balls. You want to make America great again? Give me a fucking choice in internet service. I'm on Long Island. Long Island could be its own state. People say we should be our own state. That's how big we are. The population we have. Like a fucking one internet company to choose from. One. How is that America? Living under the goddamn Taliban here in Long Island. Fucking internet Taliban. And it's been like, it's 2022. It's been like this for years. You'd think we'd get a second internet company. All right, Ann, enough about the internet. We had internet down for 12 hours on Tuesday. What's going on? My mom lives in Manhattan. I bitch about it all the time. Is anybody else having issues with the internet, or is it just a New York thing? That's what I would like to know. Comment below. Like and follow. Subscribe. Join the membership area. Thanks. Anyway, so Bill Barr says, forget the special whatchamacallit there. It's too late. The only reason why you would have a special master come in is to protect client and attorney privilege on any bit of communication in there that's not owned by the government. He said they've already gone through all the documents. There's no point in doing that anymore. So that's done. You could ask for that kind of stuff all you want. But the reason why you have somebody come in there is to protect those things and say, okay, this you can look through. This has nothing to do with you, client attorney privilege. That part's over already. They've already gone through all the documents. So there's no point in getting a special master. He said if they wanted a special master, they should have asked for it right then and there on the day or the day after. So by the time they came around, because he started with they planted the stuff or they wouldn't let us in. He started the rant and raving that they were doing. And then by the time they got to we need a special master, it was already far too late for that. So that is done. No point in a special master, says Bill Barr. He also said that if Trump did declassify the documents, it still doesn't take away from the fact that it's government property, which is what Frank was screaming about for the last couple of times that we talked about this. You know, that's basically what he had been talking about, which I never, by the way, disputed. You know, I think if we figured out what was classified, not classified, we could go from there. All right. Now I think we got Frankie C back in a limited capacity. What's up, big dog?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. So yeah, I'm having some internet issues, so I figured why not just do it over the phone here, sitting on my brand new recliner down in my basement.
Look at you.
It's a beautiful thing. Got my recliner, got my coat rack on the phone here. I think my only thing is I don't think. Oh yeah, I can't see the comments. Excellent. I'm all set up.
Why don't you knock it sideways? Why don't you go landscape on me so we could see?
Should I go landscape? All right, let's
Yeah.
go landscape.
Be the big dog.
Like I've operated things before.
There you go.
All right, here we are.
I was just giving you credit for being right about the whole. It doesn't matter if the documents are classified or not, because it's still government property. So that's one of the things that Bill Barr said today.
You don't have to give me credit. Just tell it like it is. That's all I ask.
Well, he said even if Trump stood over the thing and said these are all, declared declassified, which he couldn't do, not in that manner, it still wouldn't matter. So, okay, so that was point number 2. His third point was, it depends on the severity of what he took and what was in the documents, because they were asked him, would you prosecute this? Would you bring this to trial? And he said, it depends on what you have here. Yes, there's an issue of obstruction because they asked for the documents back. They got jerked around. Then they went down there with a subpoena. They got some stuff voluntarily back. Then they found out that there was still a lot more stuff there. They asked for it back again, jerked around some more. He's like, how long was the government going to take? Obviously you don't want to have a raid on the president, a former president, but
Too bad.
At some
I'm
point
sorry.
you gotta get everything back, is what he was saying. So he said that was basically justified. But as far as being able to prosecute him, Bill said that it depends on the nature of what exactly was there and how sensitive that classified material really was.
Well, there were different levels of classified material, and some of them, like the highest, there were a handful of them that were, I don't remember the order of classifications, but there were some that were like really for only like a handful of people that could see them. And he had them. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but if any ordinary citizen, which is what he is now, yeah, I get it. You were the president, which means you had access to those documents, but not anymore. They're not yours. You can't just take what you want. And if you do, you gotta either go through the proper channels and declassify them, or you have to register them with the archives. And he didn't do any of that, as far as we can tell. And it's ridiculous that every time they come at him with something, he comes up with a different excuse. Oh, they planted them is a big one, but then he's like, no, I want them back. It's like, well, did they plant them, or do you want your documents back, or I declassify them, or it's a different excuse every time, and it's just the latest thing. It's every day with this guy. We can't just. I've had enough. It's over. Just go away.
Well, because he said it depends on the nature of what, again, the nature of what is in there, and also whether or not there was intent. So if he was just holding on to the documents to be a dick, and he wasn't doing it to hide anything, he's basically, I don't know if there's anything really there, or if anybody would bring that case. But he said if the president was moving stuff around and constantly hiding things to try and avoid the government from taking certain things back, whatever it is that they may be, he goes, that is a different story.
Well, and look at the other thing. A lot of people in the comments are saying it, that there were empty boxes and empty files. Where the hell is that stuff?
Oh yeah, we found that out today too. That there was stuff in there that was like, bring this back to the thing, and this is highly, and they were empty. Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, how do you not? I mean, everybody said, "Oh, it's Trump. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy." Blah, blah, blah. No, this is the stupidest thing. How do you not know that this is going to come back and bite you? I mean, I don't understand the logic. You take all this stuff. It's classified. Nobody around him told him, "No, sorry, you can't take that." I'm sure someone had to make him aware that you're not supposed to take any of this. And if you do, it's got to be, archived or whatever. I forget the place that's supposed to register everything, like
National Archives.
National Archives. Just like Obama, all his stuff was archived with the National Archives. People say, "Oh, Obama took stuff too." Yeah, but it's all documented. It's all up on the up and up. So that's the way it is. I don't understand why it's not like they're going to investigate it. Let them go through the process. Everybody was on Merrick Garland. Why aren't you doing this? And then all of a sudden he comes out with this, and we're like, yeah, well, all right. He had to take his time. So he's going to take his time. He'll get to the bottom of it, him and his team. And, the most dangerous thing they could do is you got Trump and everybody going, oh, screw the FBI. You got this guy that was in Florida running for office. He was banned on Facebook because he was saying to when I become senator, I forget what he was running for, governor, senator, I don't remember, but he was like, you could shoot these people on sight, law enforcement. That's what he was saying. He was banned from TikTok. I don't know if there's any charges being filed against him, but that's what it's become. People are attacking law enforcement because of this, and it's unreal. I mean, the supposed party of law and order is all of a sudden turned on the law enforcement because they went after Trump for something. They're doing their job.
I have some more thoughts on that when we get up to the Biden speech. But I want to get to Paul's point here. And intent doesn't matter. People go to jail if they accidentally take a document. Correct. But I impress upon. Paul says intent doesn't matter. People go to jail if they accidentally take a document.
Yeah, but there is a little bit of it. There has to be in the. I was reading up on the declassification and all the stuff. What it has to do with classified stuff. There is some kind of factor in there with intent. The reason Hillary, everybody's all Hillary. When they investigated Hillary because of her stuff, they found that intent was just not there. There was no, nefarious reason that she did any of this stuff. So that's why no charges. She was the boomer. She fucked up. She didn't know what she was doing with stuff with the server and all this stuff. So they investigated her. She testified for hours. They went through the whole thing, and they found there was no wrongdoing, no intent to do anything wrong. So it was all misunderstanding and that kind of thing.
Correct. The point that I was going to make to tack on to the back of your excellent point was that you're still talking about a president of the United States. Yeah. And I know a lot of people, I know half the country hates him and wants to see him go to jail. But it is still a president of the United States. You still have to fight against executive privilege. You still have to fight. This is in a case. In a case, you're going to have to argue against executive privilege. You're going to have to argue against, and forgive me, I forget what it is, but that article that says the president can't do anything illegal because anything the president does is lawful and legal, etc., so on and so forth. You're going to have to argue against that. And you're just going to have to argue against the overall optics of putting a former president behind bars because he took some papers. I understand that it's a big deal because it's top secret information. I get it, but you've got to have a really good reason for putting a former president behind bars. And before anybody responds, keep in mind that the president before Obama had made huge errors in weapons of mass destruction. The president before that one has a lot of explaining to do regarding Epstein. This current president has a big issue with his son, the laptop, China, and the Ukraine. So none of these people are going to stand up and be like, that guy should go to jail when they all got some fucking issues that it'd just be best that they just go, yeah, you know what? You shouldn't really be able to mess with the president. I'm just going to sit back here and keep my mouth shut about it.
Sorry, no. If you can't mess with the president, then that makes the president, it gives him absolute power, which you can't have in a president. That's a king. You can't have the president be.
No, it's not.
Sure, it is. If the president doesn't have to answer to the law, yeah, that's.
I'm saying
taking it to another level.
Which one of these guys is going to step up and be like, yeah, what he did was really bad? Come on.
Biden is. Well, not actually, he hasn't commented on.
No, because Biden knows shut the fuck up, because when by the time I get out of here and they finally get to all of Hunter's shit and I'm up for it, I don't want to fucking be I don't want to go to prison either.
Well, if he see, that's the difference. If Biden did some illegal shit that they discovered, if he took stuff, if he had top secret confidential stuff and they found that out at the same time, like Trump is out of office, they find out that he has the same, yeah, that's fine, go after him too. That's okay. No one is above the law. If you're the president, if you're a former president, that means you were the president. You're now a citizen. So you couldn't you couldn't what's it called? You can't do that stuff anymore. You could when you were president. You could take classified documents. You got to read them in places. Fine, but you got to turn all that shit over. It's over. That's the end of it. Once you're out of office, that's the problem. He doesn't believe he lost, so he probably figures I have a right to this stuff because I should be in the office anyway.
Well, I don't know what he believes.
That's a conclusion I'm jumping to, but I'm just saying that's.
I don't know what he believes because even Bill Barr, they said like, can you? And he's like, I don't know why he had this stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
You got no more use for it. What are you going to do with it, other than profit from it? What is the motive?
I said the same thing. I still do not know why he had this and why he was giving them such a hard time to give it back. I mean, the only thing I can think of is there's something in there that he's trying to protect. But if that were the case, you'd have fucking burned it. You wouldn't just keep it lying around.
Well, he's not the brightest person. So, I mean, he's the guy that shreds stuff and flushes it down the toilet. I mean, he's got there was a thing that there's like, I don't know how, there's like 9 fireplaces in the White House, and he shreds stuff or he rips it up and throws it in the toilet. Like, well, I'm just saying, like, if any president commits a crime, they got to be held accountable. I don't care who it is. I don't care what side they're on. Fine. If this person commits a crime, if it's proven that Biden committed some crazy crime, then prosecute. That's the difference between Trump, crazy like Trump people that are like, oh, you can't do any wrong, and people who are like, no, any president, I don't care who it is.
I don't know, man. We got you on tape saying this now.
Yeah, any president. I don't care.
We're going to be sitting here 2-3 years from now doing a show, and you're going to be like, I don't think what Biden did was wrong.
If he did something wrong, fine. I get it. If he broke the law, if Biden broke the law, then
I mean, we have the email of him, of Hunter going, you got to take care of the big guy. Who the fuck you think the big guy is?
Yeah, Hunter is saying that. I don't know. Prove Biden's involvement. If Biden wrote the email and was like, "Hey, I'm in on this deal," or whatever the hell it is.
But don't you see? You're taking this. You're okay with taking the leap with Trump and let there being holes in the story.
No.
With Biden, there, you're like, oh, I don't know. We got to prove who the big guy is.
You got to prove
the big guy is.
That's fine. But if Trump Jr. was sending an email, "Hey, I gotta talk to my dad first," or whatever it is, Trump could say, "I got nothing to do with that. He's my son. He could say whatever he wants." But until his hands are in the sauce, I don't know. Until he's involved, and he's not involved. All I'm saying is, any president, I don't care who you are, I don't care what side you're on, when you break the law and you're not the president anymore, you can't hide behind an executive privilege. You can't. You're accountable just like any other person. That's the whole point of democracy. Nobody is above the law. That's it. That's end of story. Am I wrong there? Do you not agree with that?
I agree with it. I agree with it. I just think that, in reality, in the real world,
hit me with some reality.
I think 2 things. I think you have a track record of presidents over the last 20 years that all made really big mistakes.
Yeah, every president
some
fucks
a
up.
lot worse. Yeah, some a lot worse than others. And I also think that regardless of how much you hate the guy, regardless of what he did or obstruction or whatever, I don't think you want to see a president of the United States being hauled off in handcuffs and going to jail. And nor do I think.
Tell me why not. Tell me why not.
I didn't think I'd have to explain this because he's the president of the country.
No, he's not. He used to be.
He was the president of the country. Don't you
What
think
does
that
that mean? He's a citizen now. He's not in the government anymore. Yeah. Okay. People look at what happens in other countries. People are, presidents and whoever, they're indicted and shit all the time. In this country, if a president does something wrong, he should be held accountable as well. That's the simplest. That's the simplest part of our democracy. Nobody's above the law. You
I
break the
think
law, it's equal justice.
I just think if we prosecuted all of our political leaders, we'd have nobody left to lead us.
Then we got nobody left. Then we just stick with the good people. That's all.
There'd be nobody here to run the shit, you know?
That's fine. Just let's get some new people. If
Yeah.
everybody's fucked up, get them all out and get some unfucked up people.
Listen, I'm with hold on a second. Painting services by Steve. By the way, if you need a good painter, Steve's here. Frank needs, I don't know if he's good or not, but he's got the services. Frank needs a picture of bloopers fall off his bike, Biden on his headboard for his ED. Did I get that all right?
Is that my erectile dysfunction?
Your erectile dysfunction or Biden's? I'm not sure.
I don't know, but okay. So at least Biden can get on a bike. That's all I could say.
Holly,
I don't see Trump on a bike. Let me show Donald Trump on a bike. Get me one picture of President Donald Trump on a bike.
Holly, no one is above law, and why is this so hard for you? It's not hard for me.
It really is, though.
It's not. I really don't think it is. I just think that I'm waiting for the process to be carried out. Again, and I said this before, I don't know why he took those things, and he shouldn't have. It belongs to the government. I'm not.
If there's some crazy, reasonable explanation for all this, and it's like, and it's justified in some weird way that nobody figured out yet, great. But as it stands right now, what it looks like is he's got stuff he shouldn't have. That's what it looks like. I don't know, for everybody pretty much doesn't know anything beyond that. It's classified stuff he shouldn't have. He was told to give it back and he didn't. He still has it. The raid, in my opinion, was justified because they asked him for it. He said no, or he didn't, or he ignored it, or whatever happened. And they came and got it. And by the way, they didn't announce that they were going to get it. He announced it. He was like, oh, the FBI came. It could have been cover of darkness. They come by, they take the stuff, and we never hear about it.
No, I would have gotten out anyway. There's no way.
It probably would have gotten out. It probably would have gotten out in some way, but he could have been like, it could have been, this all could have been, as he gets on his pulpit. Oh, they came and raided my house. Unbelievable. It's like, all right, because you fucked them over. You didn't give them what they asked for.
Okay, if they wanted to, and if they were going to, Nixon would have been put in jail. But
he would have been, but he got pardoned.
He got pardoned. So why do you think this is going to be any different?
You think Biden's going to pardon him?
I think anybody would pardon him. Because nobody wants to see a president go to jail.
Yeah, you might not want to see it, but
I think the deal is going to be, if you don't want to go to jail, if you want the pardon, you have to agree not to run again. That's all. That's all it's going to come down to. He's not going to go to prison.
Yeah, he might not go to prison, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. But he's got to be held accountable. He's got to be held accountable. Well, whatever the law says, if they say,
how is that holding him accountable?
I'm saying if there's some kind of penalty,
what's the penalty?
I don't know, but I'm saying if it's he can no longer ever hold office, or he has some huge fines he's got to pay, whatever the penalty is, it shouldn't be.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
It shouldn't be nothing. Yeah.
Do we have any mods in the YouTube? Can we ban this person here?
I thought she was on vacation. What's going on here?
Yeah, she's on vacation. She's riling it up in the chat now. She's, I'd like to put her in timeout, please. Somebody put her.
They're defying you. Nobody wants to do it.
What?
They're defying you. Nobody wants to put her. Nobody wants to ban her.
Nobody wants to ban her. Oh my God! Our generals are going against us. That's a direct order.
That's it. Nope.
No, don't ban her. That's okay.
No, she's fine. No.
I think
But it's
Paul's
all
right,
good
though.
fun.
She's got a vacation addiction. She's just,
And
how
we're
many
not even in her
vacations
birthday
can I?
month. She's not even. Yeah, it's a vacation too. It's not like she's.
It's her birthday year, Frank. That's what it is. It's her birthday year, and she's gonna get all the vacation she needs.
So every day of the year is birthday time.
Look at all the mods sticking up for J Sabs.
Team J Sabs we got in there from Mercury 7. Dia, no, Janine is my hero.
Robin, no effing way. Look at this. Revolution on our hands.
You see that? See what you did? You can't attack one of your co-hosts. That's not that. I don't know, what you're trying to do, but that's a no-no, buddy.
Listen, let me tell you why you're so wrong. Because you just sat there and go, there got to be some consequences. He's going to get a pardon. Nothing is going to happen to him. That's not a consequence.
I didn't say pardon. You said pardon. I don't think he should be pardoned.
But that's what's going to happen.
I didn't think Nixon should be pardoned.
If he gets pardoned.
I wasn't around when it happened, but I don't think he should have been.
If he gets pardoned, because nobody wants to see the president of the United States in fucking handcuffs. Let me ask you a question. Who's worse? Trump for taking documents that didn't belong to him, or Bush for sending troops to get killed, to get revenge for his father's war over something that wasn't even there ever? What's the worst thing?
That's the Bush thing is probably worse, but
I would say so. Nobody's fucking calling for his head.
Go after him too. What do I care? I don't. If we're all cards on the table, let's get everybody accountable.
That's the case, though. Care. I think we hate this guy. We are probably going to lose to him in the next 2 years, so we got to get rid of him now. I think that's what it is. And again, I'm not saying what he did was right, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be in trouble, but it feels
we're saying.
It feels like a lot of people are like, well, I just don't like him and I don't want to lose to him, so please get rid of him.
I think he's been fucking up for 6 years now. Everything he does is a fuck up, and he gets away with it every time. And it's enough's enough. I'm sorry. It's like, what it's like when they got Capone on tax stuff.
Mm. Okay,
they couldn't get him on all the other shit.
I understand.
So they got him on tax stuff.
You're talking about a mass murderer versus just an annoying asshole. I mean,
it's not just an annoying asshole. He may not
really
be. All it is. He may not physically murder anybody, but he's fucking up left and right. He downplayed a pandemic that costs hundreds of thousands of lives. It's ridiculous. I mean,
Dia says, and finally gets it. I'm not saying that just because this is, or there could possibly be a political motivation behind this. By the way, I think there's a political motivation behind people wanting him to go to jail. I don't think that the FBI and I'm going to be the ever optimist and say that these people are just trying to do what's right for the law. They're
doing what the law says to do.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, just because it's motivated for one side is going to win over the other, doesn't mean that this guy shouldn't be this shouldn't all be investigated. It should be. It should be investigated. We should find out what he was doing, because again, I have no explanation for it. I can't. Usually the motive is pretty easy to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Nobody seems to be able to understand the motive behind.
Even it's not understanding the motive; it's proving the motive.
But even if he thought, we take it back for a second though. But even if he thought, I'm not doing anything wrong here. Okay, even that's what he thought, and we could all accept that. Why did he have it? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Nobody can put an answer to that.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot. I mean, everybody is speculating up and down, all over the place. Why would he have all this stuff? What is the benefit to it? Either, I mean, my opinion. This is only my opinion. Either the stuff in there has to do with him in some way, and he doesn't want it in other people's hands, or he's using it to benefit himself. He's using it to. I'm not going to say he's selling it or giving it away or whatever, but I'm not going to say he's not doing that. Those are the two things I can come up with.
I
What
can't
else could
even
it
buy
be?
that. I understand. I can't even buy it. He's selling it. I don't even see. I don't see that. I just don't see it.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to know that. I don't want to imagine that he could be doing that. But I'm trying to figure out why else he would have. What do you think? I mean, how do you think? Uh, you know, what do you think his reasons for having them would be?
I have been racking my brain. In the beginning, I thought when he came out with his first couple of comments, I thought he was doing this to rile up his supporters and to be like, look, I'm getting persecuted. I thought it was an innocent thing. Maybe he had a couple of things that would be like, all right, they got it back now. It's done and over with, And I thought he was just going to be like, look, they're oppressing me. Look at what they're doing to me. They can do it to you next. If they can do it to me, they could do.
That's what he tried doing.
And that's what he
saying.
did. And it worked because he got a little bump in the numbers. And I don't know what he fundraised off of it. We'll find that out eventually. But I'm sure he got some money off of that because I saw all the emails and things that went out that said, donate now to save America again or whatever the fuck his new thing is.
See, his whole thing.
Here's the thing with this. If you feel like you need to unfollow the thing, just fucking leave. You don't have to announce it.
Yeah,
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. If you can't handle the honest conversation and back and forth and hearing something that might be slightly different than what your shitty little ego can handle, just fucking leave. You don't have to announce it. Just fucking go.
Yeah, we're not gonna cry. We're not gonna lose sleep over someone
Nobody's
unfollowed.
lose sleep over it. Nobody.
It's totally fine.
A lot of people for it would affect us in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate everybody who wants to be here, but if you're gonna go, just fucking go. You don't have to announce it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, and that's the funny part. The funny part is all these, the Trump supporters. Look at all of the bile he has spewn over the last 6 years about his enemies, people who don't support him, this person, all the nasty nicknames, all of this and that. And we finally say something back about Trump, or Biden says, we'll get to the speech later, but Biden says something back, and everybody's, ooh, I hope he apologizes for that. How dare he say something about us? It's like, where were you the last 6 years when that's all Trump was doing, was just attacking anybody who disagreed with him? That's all he did. And it was, oh, yeah, they suck. The Democrats, they suck. They're the worst. And then Biden gets up there and says, not all Republicans, just the MAGA Republicans have lost their way and are fucking up. Oh, no, how could he say something like that? My feelings are hurt now. I hope he apologizes. Get the fuck. You know how many fuck your feelings bumper stickers I see out there? And now all of a sudden it's, but my feelings. You got to be careful about my feelings. Get the fuck out of here. Bullshit.
Well, I don't understand how he and other people can turn on Barr so quickly. Like Barr kept him out of the shit while he was president.
Yeah,
Barr came to his defense while he was president.
A lot of people did. And the second someone who has supported him forever turns and says, what I think he did there was wrong, you're immediately blacklisted. You're out. You're his enemy now. You could, if you disagree with him on anything, that's why he's a bad leader, because he doesn't take someone's disagreement as criticism, constructive, or he doesn't he doesn't what's it called, debate with people in a meaningful adult way. He'll just say, oh, this person disagreed with me, well then he's out. I got no respect for him. He's a loser, and we should vote him out. He's a rhino. It's like, what are you talking about? This is just someone who disagrees with what you're doing. Not everybody has to kiss your ass, but in his world, if you don't kiss his ass, you're his enemy. That's why he's a bad leader.
I just took a nice long hard sip of my iced Jumpstart Coffee
Yeah.
Company, Frank.
How are you feeling? The last episode, you were very under the weather.
Near death. I'm on my Jumpstart though, so I'm pretty good now. I just put I'm playing hurt though. I don't let it affect me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still throwing the passes.
You're a fighter.
Still making it happen. Doctors don't even know how I'm alive, to be totally honest with you.
I question it every day.
Thanks. I just put in the chat for everybody this New York Post article on this new Prince Andrew ad, which I have to say is one of the most incredible things I've seen in the last little while. But there's a storage company here in Manhattan that put up a billboard, and the billboard says for their storage, Manhattan Mini Storage. You know them, Frank. They've been around for like a billion years.
Seen them everywhere.
They got pictures of people with their like kind of stuff, and the caption on the ad is "safe, secure, protected with minimal charges, just like Prince Andrew."
Oof.
That's an ad campaign.
That is an attention grabber. I'll give you that. That's a good one.
That's a marketing director's hand I'd like to shake.
Yeah, that's some balls. There's some mustard on that ad.
There's mustard on that ad. You're right.
Not gonna lie,
really right.
that's got some kick behind it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe I'll put my stuff in Manhattan store. I don't know.
You know what? I don't have anything to store, but if one opens something, I'm gonna get. They got my business just based off that alone.
All right, that's a ballsy ad, and it's a good one. It's got our attention. We're talking about it.
Hell yeah. Listen to me, Frank. I got breaking news.
Oh boy.
I ordered my new Jumpstart Coffee blend. It was shipped today.
Nice. When did you?
It is on its way.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I stepped up. I got the new blend. The new, what do we call it? A blend or a roast? What do you think is more classy?
Well, I thought it was a blend of the two different kinds of roasts.
Technically, you're right. You're right. Isn't that in itself new roast?
I think I'm losing you again. Are you there?
Yeah, everybody.
All right. Well, you got you got the two blends or two roasts, medium and dark blended.
Right. That's my question. If you can hear me, is if combined two roasts, is that in and of itself an entirely new roast?
They have created a Frankenstein roast, if you will.
Right.
So it sounds delicious. It's a blend, right? It's a blend, which is always exciting to run across a blend, whether it be wine or coffee. It's always good stuff. Oh, look at that. Bird saying her AOA hoodie, Anthony on Air hoodie shipped today.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's on the way.
Maybe it's the Great Shipping Friday is what it is today. Maybe that's what we're experiencing, Great Shipping Friday.
That could be. We're getting everything out before Labor Day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Good stuff.
Here's what I'm wondering, Frank.
Yeah, everybody's Dia is saying can't understand you. You're bouncing in and out. It's very choppy.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving and coming back.
All right, I'll talk about some the what's it called? The coffee. Okay, so you got the Jumpstart coffee. We got the link below. Save 15% by using the code AOA15. Right off the top, you get 15% off. And then 50% of what you buy, 50% of what you spend there, right to the Navy SEAL Foundation. So that's an amazing product. It's made in America and it benefits our veterans, which is amazing.
Here's fuck. Am I good or no?
It's still choppy a little bit.
Cocksuckers.
That we heard clear.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Right.
Here's my question though.
Yeah.
Are they simply combining the medium and the dark roasts?
One more time.
Are they combining the medium and the dark roasts? Or are they mediumly dark roasting? these beans.
I hate you. That is, are they mediumly dark roasting the beans? Is that that's your question?
Mm-hmm.
So are they taking beans, medium roasting some of them, and leaving the rest of them in for a little longer?
Yeah, because you have the medium roast, but then
Right.
you have the dark roast blend. And now this is the medium dark roast blend. I just don't know what to think.
There should be a word, kind of like brunch is between breakfast and lunch. There should be a word between medium and dark roast.
Mm.
There should be like a medium and dark, mark roast.
Oh, Mark roast would be good.
That sounds kind of like we're eating some guy named Mark.
Mm.
I don't know.
I like it a lot.
A dedium roast.
All right. Don't go at DDM speed. Go full speed to the link in the description for this episode and order your Jumpstart coffee right now. Save 15% with that AOA 15 promo code.
I
and
told
50%.
them all this.
Okay.
They know
On to the
all
next
this.
topic.
The only thing that they have to know now is you do the subscribe and save. You set up your order to come every month, or however when you want to ship it. They come. You don't have to think about it. They send it over, and you got your coffee set up, ready to ship automatically. So get that subscribe and save. It pays off.
That's how I want to be, Frank. I don't want to think about anything anymore.
I never thought you did.
Except for what I'm going to say to this fucking internet company when I call them up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pieces
What
of
the
shit.
hell is going on? My internet seems okay now. Now that I moved literally from my iPad to my cell phone, my internet has been better.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that because you're probably still on your own same Wi-Fi. So I don't know what you thought you were accomplishing there.
Well, I figured shut down something.
Go back to the iPad. I like the iPad. I don't like you lounging like this.
I like the chair. The chair is nice. This is my new furniture for my basement. It's a beautiful thing.
How is retirement, by the way? Did you get that out of the ARP catalog?
What's wrong with that? It's a recliner. It goes back here.
Is it a Posturepedic?
It's not Posturepedic, but it might as well be because it is damn comfortable.
Does it help with your lumbago? What? Your sciatica?
It helps with the sciatica. It helps with the whole thing. But it's good. It's good stuff. It's like one of those couches that hugs you. It's like you ever watch Frasier?
So you're saying the couch is the opposite of my father? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Exactly.
Got it. Yes, it looks like the couch that Frasier's dad used to hang out on.
Exactly. The design's a little easier on the eyes, but in terms of comfort, that's the comfort level that I wanted. The Frasier's dad's recliner, and I think I nailed it.
By the way, I just got this text. Do you think it's Folgers messing with your internet? It could be. I'm going to look into it.
Do they have that power?
People are telling me it's Folgers. And by people, I mean somebody I know just texted.
They do have the power to freeze dry coffee crystals, which, how the hell do you do that?
And who wants to do that? I like my coffee fresh.
Right.
That's fresh.
It's fresh.
Armie Hammer, this sick fuck. You ready for this, Frank?
Oh, God. Now what? I know that we knew that there was a documentary coming out, but what's the
It's
deal
out
now? It's out. Did you watch it?
I got all the stuff for you. Yeah.
What do we got? No, there's no cup holder in this thing, but I do have. I'll show you. All right. So
by all means, let's get a tour of the fucking old man chair that you have. Go ahead.
All right. So here's the. I'm in my recliner. I don't know if you could. This is the recliner.
I hope you're wearing fucking pants.
I'm wearing shorts. But the now let me see if I can do this here. Hang on. All right. So now I have. This is the couch that I got. That matches the recliner. It's 3 seats, and that middle part folds down, and it's like a little table with two cup holders, and it's amazing. And both of these things recline. See, there's if I can get it. There's the reclining action right there. That's a beautiful thing.
When I want my internet to go out, it doesn't. I saw this Bob's Discount Furniture ad. I saw the whole thing.
Everybody in the chat loves it.
Who's loving the furniture?
You got
No.
Paul was asking if there was a cup holder. You got Bird is saying ooh. That's pretty much it.
Two people.
Two people. Two
All
more
right.
than is commenting on your stuff.
All right, Armie Hammer. Frank, you ready for this
I don't know
delusional,
if
crazy family?
I don't know if I am ready for this. This seems like it's going to be crazy. What do we got?
There's a lot of the family stuff. So, Armie's great great grandfather, Dr. Julius Hammer, came to the U.S. from Russia, but
Is it me or are all ancestors named Julius?
a lot of them are.
A lot of people that went from the 1800s to the 1900s. They're all Julius.
Mm.
All right, go ahead.
He had close ties to the KGB, and it was proven that he was a Soviet Union agent.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that just scratches the surface of the Hammer family.
Armand, which is Armie's great grandfather, learned from his father, but as the Red Scare crept to the U.S., he stopped as his secret would threaten the Occidental Petroleum's business. That's Armie Hammer, by the way.
Sure.
Armie Hammer was here. Let's see here. In one particular heinous incident, Martha Kaufman, a former mistress of Armand, was said to have been forced to treat his every desire, all while disguising herself as a woman named Hillary Gibson at his insistence. This was spurred by his wife, Frances, demanding that Martha no longer visit their home, and she allegedly never saw through the disguise. So the wife was like, hey, why don't you have your mistress get a disguise and stop bringing her to our home?
What the hell's the point of the disguise then? If she's not sneaking her, I don't even. Why the disguise?
What?
Why the disguise? What does that do?
I don't know. This Armand was a piece of work, though. He was found guilty of making illegal contributions to the reelection campaign of Richard Nixon in 1979. In 1989, George Bush Sr. would pardon him of the charge.
Wow.
1 year earlier, Armie Hammer was in hot water for improper safety measures following the Piper Alpha explosion that killed 165 people. No criminal charges were brought against Hammer or Occidental. Wow. Casey Hammer, who is Armie's aunt, the daughter of Julian.
Armie aunt. Sorry.
Revealed that her father often acted extremely erratic, especially after her mother divorced him. Among his most disgusting actions were his famous parties, in which usually had 16 or 17-year-old girls in attendance. Casey recalls finding a Polaroid photo of one of these cocaine-fueled parties in which a young girl could be seen giving a meh, meh, while an older man watched her.
Oh, God.
In 1955, a friend of Julian's named Bruce had asked him about an outstanding gambling debt. This sparked an altercation between the two men. Julian shot Bruce dead. Thanks to his lawyers, likely hired by Armand, he was able to get the charges downgraded to manslaughter before they were thrown out altogether.
Wow.
This, by the way, became a running joke in the Hammer family.
Hilarious.
During her interview, the producers asked Casey if she was sexually abused by her father, to which she tearfully says yes. While declining to go into detail, she does say that memories of the abuse back to her after she attended therapy for the first time.
Wait, we're losing you there. We lost you that last sentence.
That memories of the abuse back to her after she went to therapy for the first time.
Okay, memories came back after she went to therapy for the first time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Michael, who's Armie's dad, Casey's brother, if you're following. Casey in the documentary alleges that after Armand died in 1990, Michael and his wife Drew immediately began taking valuables from his granddaughter's house. According to her, they started doing this while Armand's body was still lying in his bed.
Ugh. These people are clearly terrible individuals.
Although Michael didn't contribute much to the family business, he wound up getting a majority of Armand's inheritance, and they think it was because of this time he spent looting the house.
Ugh.
Armand, it was revealed that Armie, not Armand, worked with another actor who remains anonymous, but recalls being forced to hold degrading signs at the airport. He recalls being forced to receive a lap dance at a strip club at Armie's behest. I don't want to defend Armie Hammer at all here, but let me defend that last one. Somebody forces you to get a lap dance at a strip club? I mean, how many times have you forced me to do that, Frank? More than once.
In the last week?
You haven't seen me get all up in arms about it.
If you don't want one, you don't want one, but
yeah. The Discovery documentary also found a recurring theme within Armie's survivors, which is that they all came from toxic or abusive relationships. Julia Morrison, one of his victims, said that she thought this was part of his MO, taking advantage of his former partner's vulnerability.
Man.
Yeah.
The hell?
Fucked up.
And this is all from the documentary you saw. You got this all from that. Where is this? What is it on?
Discovery Plus.
Discovery Plus. Okay.
Yeah, fucked up, right? Armie Hammer fucked up.
Discovery Plus, which means Disney.
No.
I feel like the Discovery Channel is part of Disney now.
Oh, didn't they just merge though, or with HBO? I have no idea.
Because if you go into Disney Plus, there's a Discovery tab.
I thought that was National Geographic.
You're right. I'm sorry, my mistake. I think it is National Geographic.
My God.
I think you're right.
The only thing worse than the mistake you just made was them rebooting A League of Their Own.
They didn't reboot it. It's a TV show now.
Stinks.
Was it bad? Did you watch it?
I can't get past the trailer. It looks like shit.
All right. Jeez. Because there's no Tom Hanks in it.
Yeah, there's no Tom Hanks. I don't like how they adapt everything. I think the black women are playing in the league, which was bullshit. Like, I liked how in the original movie they pointed out that it was unfair that black women didn't get a chance. Remember when the black girl takes the ball,
yeah,
throws it over the other girl's head, and they were like, "Holy shit! Look how much better athletes they are." I like that little fucking that nugget of truth of look how shitty this was. Not like the fantasy world of everybody was equal back in the past. No, there was shitty stuff pointed out. That's how you become better.
Is that what they said in the documentary? That it's not about the actual history of it all.
Well, I see the trailer, like they have all these people that are playing. It's like, that's not how they happen.
Right.
And that's imagining of history. I have no issues with that. I'm a fan like everybody else.
All right, you're glitching like a mofo.
It's Folgers.
It's probably Folgers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's
I saying? Can you hear me now?
You sound like Darth Vader, but yeah. Pretty good.
Can you hear me now? The glitches are longer than they used to be.
Yeah, this is a bad one. This is it's very choppy. It's very.
I might record the phone call tomorrow when I fucking lay into these pieces of shit.
Do it. You're back.
I'm so fucking angry.
All right, you're back 100%.
Anyway, what I was saying was I like a reimagining of history, but it's hard to do when you have a movie that was damn near perfect.
That is true. That was a great movie.
Now, if you want to be like, I saw Rosie O'Donnell the other day, and she was like, who's Gary Marshall's sister? What was her name? Penny Marshall. Thank you.
Penny Marshall, yeah.
Thank God we have my wife here, because Frank is just, he's lounging on his chair. He's taking the night off.
Taking the night off?
Especially since we got...
I'll see you. You want me to go? I'll go.
He's having a cocktail on his new furniture.
I don't have a cocktail. I wish I did.
Penny Marshall. Rosie said that Penny didn't want to do any gay stuff because Rosie was like, my character's gay, and her character gets married to a guy in the movie.
Right.
But there's that scene where I don't know if they were in the bar or whatever, and she's like, I thought I was a freak until I met you guys, talking to her teammates. And she said to Penny Marshall, she's coming out here. And Penny's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I know I didn't necessarily see that, but I understand Rosie being gay. I understand her feeling that way. I thought it was more like, which by the way, it could totally be a metaphor for coming out of the closet.
It could
but that's
very
how
well be.
That's how I took it, because I feel like you can use that as a metaphor for anything. Here you have this tomboy, because let's not act like that. Let's not act like tomboys aren't a real thing.
That's the truth.
You have this tomboy who's just kind of like, I found you guys are my people. We're all like-minded. We all like playing the sport together.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I hear you. I pick up what you're putting down.
Thanks, buddy.
But you're still missing the cutoff man. Now, that's something I want you to work on before next season. Evelyn.
What was the kid's name? Stillwell.
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 God forbid we go to the World Series without Stillwell's toys. That's such a good movie.
A fucking great movie. See what I'm saying? It's how could anybody try and remake that?
I don't know.
Pick something else. Regis and McDonald's. I love this story.
What the hell is this?
So, Regis Philbin's son-in-law. He was on. His name is Mike Schur. He played Mose on The Office. For Office fans, you'll know Mose, which is Dwight's cousin.
Okay.
He was a co-creator on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec. He's very big behind-the-scenes guy. He was on ESPN radio, and he told a story about how Regis did a commercial for McDonald's in the 90s. And to say thank you for it, they gave him this gold McDonald's card that allowed him to get free McDonald's for life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is awesome. But he was saying that whenever, so Mike Schur is married to Regis's daughter. When she was growing up, and she's like, oh, I want to stop at McDonald's, go to the McDonald's. He'd get all excited wherever they were, traveling on a trip or home or wherever. And he'd go up and he'd order all the Big Macs and all this stuff. And he would hand the card over and said, free McDonald's for life. And these kids would just stare at him like, what the fuck is this? And
I don't know if they're trained for that. Yeah. Oh, if Regis Philbin comes in with this gold card, it's like, what? How many people are told that? I mean, I can see their point of view.
Well, as beloved as Regis is, and he was a national treasure, even the 16-year-old behind the register, whatever decade we're in, even the 90s, they might look at him and go, who are you, old man? Like, they wouldn't necessarily know who Regis Philbin is.
Yeah, but not only that, my point is, like, if you go to let's say you start working at McDonald's today, does the training include any potential free McDonald's for life? Like, some guy might come in one day and he has a free McDonald's for life thing, and you got to be aware of that. I'm sure that's not something every person in McDonald's is aware of.
One day, a guy's going to come in here with a free McDonald's card and a 1955 Farmer's Sports Almanac. Was it a Farmer's?
I think it was a Sports Almanac. It wasn't.
It was somebody's Sports Almanac. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you the comments will get to it before Frank can.
Oh, man.
What was the Sports Almanac in Back
Craze.
to the Future? What?
Craze.
It was Craze.
Grays. Craze Sports Almanac.
All right, good for you, big man. Still the champion. You beat the chat.
It was funny when I saw when this first happened. Not to get back on Trump, but when the Trump raid happened, and they were like, "Oh, they went in my safe." I saw this hysterical meme. It was a picture of the almanac. This is what's in Trump's safe. That's fucking brilliant. I was like, of course, he's future Biff. So,
that is he is Biff. You're right.
He's Biff. He's fucking Biff from Back to the Future too.
Listen, Lorraine, you're gonna be my girl, okay? Very strongly.
That's great.
Who
There's
pays for
Jack.
your boob job? Okay.
But there, you got a lot of boob jobs right here. This is the best I've seen. So
But I
paid for them.
I have this vision in my head of poor Regis so excited about his free McDonald's for life card. And the guy, Mike, said he wound up having to pay every single time because nobody knew what to do with the card.
That's hilarious.
What do you mean? I'm Regis. I gotta pay. Take the card.
They gave me the card, for God's sakes. Yeah, that again. Yeah, you walk in with this card, they're not gonna know what that is. They don't know that there's a card out there that gives someone free shit for life. That's like Kramer with the free lattes. Not everybody's gonna know is if I want a cafe latte, I'm gonna get a cafe latte. Yeah, they don't know. Everybody's got to be made aware of this card that it's out there.
If I want a free Big Mac, I'm gonna get a free Big Mac. Gilman,
gotta get you a free Big Mac.
Yeah. So I there's just something that makes me smile about Regis being so happy about a free McDonald's for life card that he can't use anywhere.
He can't use it. That's hysterical. You think there was ever a moment where he called McDonald's and was like, listen, I got this card. I know what he wants me to use it. Every time I go in, they look at me like I have three heads.
Yeah, I do. I because that's what I would have done if I were him. I'd be like, I was so happy to have this card. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. Can you please?
And it's not even about who he is. It's the card. If the card was an actual, I could print up a gold, whatever the fuck. That doesn't mean that everybody in the store knows what it is.
Right. But when you think about it, this was the 90s. So it's not like they could send out an email. I mean, even if it was the late 90s, I don't even think corporate America caught up that fast to like.
I mean, they could send out a fax to every place.
Yeah, I guess so. But you're talking about how many? There's hundreds of thousands of McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't. That's. I'm sure getting the word to every McDonald's about this. There's one card that's floating around. I wonder how many cards like that they gave out.
Right. And who was the executive that was just like, we don't have to tell the franchises about it. Just give the cards out. It's fine.
Yeah. The card speaks for itself. All right. It's like, no, it's just a guy with a card. Doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But yeah, it's a poor Regis. He didn't get to use it. But
or fucking Regis.
That's what they do to me.
I love Regis. Can you hear me?
You're glitching out again. But you there?
Mm-hmm. Me now.
Oh, there you're back.
Okay.
Sort of.
We got more SNL exits. Melissa Villaseñor, Alex Moffat, and Aristotle Athari, who I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know any of them by the names. If I saw them, probably I'd know them.
You would know Melissa Villaseñor. She's incredibly talented. She does a lot of great impressions.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure. I'd probably recognize them if I saw them, but I'm not familiar with the names. But do we know what they're doing? Like they're making movies or something?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's weird because usually they kind of know by the time the season ends.
Right.
You don't really get these just before the season's about to come back exits.
Right, because now, I mean, if anybody was writing anything with these people in it, they gotta either rewrite it or scrap it, or I don't know.
Yeah,
but that's only three. Aren't there more? There's more people, right? Or is it just three?
No, yeah, this was a mass exodus this year, but we knew this because at the end of the season they all said goodbye. But it was Kate McKinnon, it was Pete Davidson, A.D. Bryant, and Kyle Mooney all went.
Those are big names.
Yeah, Lauren said that he knew this year was going to be a big season of change, and so maybe that was it. Maybe he was like, you know what, we might as well just keep going.
Yeah,
keep the change up. All right, quickly, Frank, because we're over an hour and the internet sucks. So, Biden's speech, you kind of alluded to this before. I'll just make the point quickly again. Okay, first of all, let's take this by steps. First things first. What a bad look. Who the fuck designed this fucking thing with the? And now, what I didn't know, because you couldn't see it on the internet, when you pull out on like a wide shot, He's got blue on the outside. It was like a red and a blue, like there's blue lights on the
that would have
outer,
been.
but that middle part of whatever was behind him there was just lit up in red. Looked fucking terrible.
That wasn't a good look. I'll agree with you there. The optics on that, it was just him at a podium with those red lights. Yeah, it did not look good.
Looks stupid. The whole thing of you shouldn't have the Marines behind you, dumb. Every president had Marines.
That's stupid.
It took the internet 5 seconds to catch up with that. Every president has Marines behind them when they're making a speech.
That's stupid.
Everyone's making a big deal out of this woman on CNN who she pointed out that Biden did this horrible thing. But if you look at her comments too, even she said, I don't like it when the Republicans do it either, which she made the fair point. Nobody reported that it was a fair point.
You mean the Marine thing?
Yeah, but everybody does. She said the Republicans do it too on the bottom of her tweet, but that's not the headline that got carried everywhere. The headline was, "Look at the CNN girl speaking up against Biden."
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, if you're against the whole thing, then you're against the whole thing. But yeah, every president has spoken with whatever, the different branches of the military standing behind them. That's not unusual.
It's not unusual, no. But again, here's where I have an issue with the Republicans. They acted, and you alluded to this earlier, like if everybody didn't see the speech, Biden basically called out the MAGA Republicans. And what's interesting about it is he's dividing it's a divide and conquer strategy, right? So he basically said there's lots of great Republicans out there, many of whom I've worked with for years and will continue to work with. He said, but then there's the other extreme side, which, no shit. I mean, that's the same thing on the left, right? And before the MAGA Republicans, it was the religious right, which, by the way, I feel like is still kind of there. So you got your religious right, you got your MAGA Republicans, and then you got your majority. I still feel, I care less who thinks of it, but your majority of Republicans that are like, I just want to have conservative values and no taxes and small government. And I don't give a shit about any other stuff, which I feel like is a lot of the people.
I'm sure there are very level-headed Republicans out there, and that's fine.
But it's an interesting strategy for Biden to go on the offense and be like, this is the problem in our country right now, these people, which is not uncommon from the conversation that you're going to hear in any fucking coffee shop from your Tom, Dick, and Harry's.
Right.
But everybody and the Republican, here's my biggest problem with it. They act. God damn it.
We're losing you. We're losing you. Yeah, no good. That's bad this time.
Fucking shit.
What is that? It's like a wave. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. But all right. So I think you're back. Go ahead. Try
am I back? Okay. The point is the Republicans have done such a great job over these last 10 years, 15 years. I mean, this has been forever, but for the last 10 years or so, they've done a great job, especially during Trump's era, of labeling liberals as crybabies who just piss, moan, and complain and bitch, cry, and whine.
Snowflakes. That's what that's
little snowflakes. The first time a fucking Democrat goes, oh, the Trump Republicans are a problem, what do? They act like little baby snowflakes. I don't understand. They've single-handedly created this brand that liberals are just a bunch of whiny pussies. And here they go. The first time somebody fucking turns it around, and that's all they did was fucking do that.
Yeah. I want an apology. Biden should apologize for dividing the country. Bullshit. Sorry, but before Trump, the country, everybody had their political differences, but everybody got along. There were, and then after Trump, you hear these stories about how people can no longer talk to their relatives. They're no longer talking to their friends. People are the division became so insane after Trump got in office. It's like it just escalated to like a degree we've never seen. And then all of a sudden Biden comes out and says, yeah, the MAGA Republicans are just Trump or nothing. And it's a problem. And then everybody's like, oh no, how could you say that? It's so divisive. Meanwhile, the last president was divisive with every speech he gave. Every time he got in front of a microphone, it's the Democrats ruining the country. Blah, 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 blah. This Democrats drug. This Democrat state, the blue, the state. I support every Republican. It's like, no, Biden is a president for all Americans, but there are some extreme people.
Well,
he's still their president, but there are these extreme people who are like, Trump. It's the people who are spreading the lies just to forward their agenda. It's the election was stolen and rigged, and you can't trust any of it. And there's the deep state and all this stuff.
I like that from Deb. Biden needs a fog machine for his big rock shows.
He should have a fog machine.
Well, and I just want to throw this last thing in here. I think he was wrong to do it, and here's why. I just think so. Here's how I view it, Frank. The Republicans were winning this midterm election in a runaway. It was not even fucking close. And then, can I finish? Can I make?
No, you have to get it all out in the first 3 seconds, or it's bullshit. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Republicans were going to win this thing in a runaway, and then the dumb fucking Supreme Court justices do this Roe v. Wade thing, and then all of a sudden, all the polls tightened up, and you had a thing where it's like, well, the beating's not going to be so bad. I think the Democrats might actually hold off because everybody's so upset over Roe v. Wade. If I was in that room and Joe's like, should I make this speech? I'd be like, first of all, Joe, put your pants on. Second of all, that's not the bathroom. That's the end of the couch. Third of all, don't make this speech because you're fucking winning, and just shut up about it. Just stand on the Roe v. Wade thing. That's the only thing you need to stand on going into this midterm. That'd have been my standpoint. That's how I feel about it.
Well, that's coming from, that's coming from an election mindset. I think he was going out there just to be like, listen, there's a problem out there, and we have an election coming up, and you got to be able to.
Everything he's been doing. Can
I make my point? Can I get to a point when I?
Yes, go ahead.
My point is, there's an election coming up, and you've got people who are saying you can't trust the elections. You got the MAGA Republicans who are saying everything's rigged. It's going to be bullshit. Not only that, you have Republican states that are trying to make it more difficult for people to vote and more difficult for Democrat votes to count. They're trying to make it so that the Republican leaders are casting, throwing away votes that they don't think are valid for whatever reason. And that's bullshit. And what Biden was talking about is every vote gets casted, every vote counts. I don't care. That's the way democracy works. It's a free and fair election, and that's the way we're keeping it. So anybody on the MAGA side, that part of being a MAGA Republican, what it looks like to me, is not believing that these elections are fair, believing that Trump won. How could 81 million Americans vote for Biden? Because we did, and that's how he won. What is that? Why does that number shock you? Because we weren't at these rallies with signs and hats? No, we're not worshiping the guy. We're voting for him. That's a huge difference between MAGA rallies and people who just want to vote for someone who thinks, who they think could lead the country. So the MAGA Republicans, he pointed out, listen, this is a group of people that just do not believe that. One big line that he said was, you can't love America only when you win. Even when you lose, you still have to love America. You still have to be rooting for it. I'm paraphrasing, but that was the gist of what he said.
Not a bad line.
You can't, if you're on the losing end, you still have to root for the democracy and root for the way things are run. It's fair. Just because you lost doesn't mean it's wrong.
All right, but you can't say that it wasn't. I mean, come on. Everything he's been doing the last couple of weeks and will be doing right up until November is going to be politically motivated.
Everything's always politically motivated when you're a politician.
I'm not going to be as hard on him as some other people are because I think it's stupid and unfair. He talked about forgiving student debt in his campaign. So people are like, oh, he's just doing this for political gain. Well, easy. He fucking made that promise. But the timing is awfully conspicuous doing it right before the midterm election.
Well, he's only got 4 years.
Listen, I don't fault him for it. It's good strategy. It's good strategy. If you're going to do something, wait until it's advantageous to you. I don't fault him for it. Let's call it what it is, you know. But I think it's good strategy, and I'm happy that he did it. He came through with a campaign promise. Nobody points that out. Nobody points out here's a politician that came through with a campaign promise. They all act like, oh, this is super.
Well, a lot of promises. He's doing the stuff for energy, infrastructure. You know, he passed all these things to get us back into we're the Paris Climate Agreement again. We're part of NATO, the whole thing. We're not, you know, he's moving. I think he's moving us forward where Trump wants to pull us back into the last century with coal and we
know your stance, so we don't have to.
All right. Well, anyway, and just for example, if you look in the chat, there's someone who's saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Now, that is a saying that translates to "fuck Joe Biden." And then when Joe Biden gets on stage and says, "fuck MAGA Republicans," all of a sudden the "Let's Go Brandon" crowd is, "Oh, my feelings. How could he say something like that?" It's like, you know, you start with "Let's go." You could dish it out. You could dish out the "Let's Go Brandon" chants, T-shirts, and flags. But when someone gets up there and says, "Hey, MAGA Republicans, shove it up your ass," then everybody's, "Oh shit! How could he say that to us?" It's like, you know what? You could dish it out all day, but once someone throws it back in your face, it's woe is me.
We've never been more divisive than we are right now, Frank, and nothing is more evident than the Florida-Georgia line, and not that little piece of area in the country, but the
band
country group. Yeah, because the one guy, I'm not sure what his name is, but I think it's Florida, is disagreeing with the other guy. I'm not sure what his name is, but I think it's Georgia.
I think it's Georgia, yeah.
And one of them's a Trump guy, and the other one's not.
Is that why they're splitting up?
Swear to God.
Wow.
They're splitting up. And we know this because back in 2 years ago, 2020, when all the election stuff was going on, or, you know, pandemic into the election stuff was happening, the one guy, I don't know who's who, and I don't care enough. The one guy was like, I have to unfollow you, and unfollowed the other dude because of all the Trump stuff that he was tweeting, which I honestly felt like, all right, first, before I give you all this, my stance on this is figure this shit out internally. You know, why are you unfollowing somebody? He's like, I can't take your tweets or whatever it was, Facebook. So then just like mute them. You don't have to like publicly unfollow. It would be like if one of us unfollowed the other, that it's going to be noticed, you know, amongst the crowd. You just mute them or just get off your fucking phone so much, you know, like there's other ways to do it. But that's kind of what started it. And now they're at the point where they're just like, they can't fucking stand each other. They're so divided over Trump, not Trump, that they're fucking calling it quits.
They're still going to be doing their own music, but it's going to be on their own.
Well, who's going to give a shit? That's the thing. And it's not like we're talking about Hall and Oates here, which, by the way, name a fucking Oates thing that you like. And after that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I feel like with I mean, country music, we, you know, in New York, you and I are not the biggest country music fans in the world. I like country music every now and then, but the overwhelming majority of the country is the number one genre in radio right now.
It has been for a while. I'm sorry,
a long time
here, but I have to point out that Bird just used one of my favorite sayings of all time. She's talking about the money she saved on her student loans and said, I spent some of that money on cannabis. And then this is, I got higher than giraffe.
Where's the...
That's what I
That's hilarious.
I got higher than giraffe pussy.
That's a T-shirt. I'm higher than giraffe pussy is a T-shirt.
That is such a funny fucking phrase to me.
I don't know if I've heard that, but that's hysterical.
You know, I don't know where I would love somebody to do a documentary on the history of that phrase, because I only think I heard it like recently, like a year and a half ago, maybe, or something. It's not. I don't think it's been around for too long, but it's funny as all hell.
That is hilarious.
Anyway, I think it's heartbreaking that people like, because yeah, you hear this all the time, family and friends and all that. And here's the other thing too that people don't really get with music groups. You know how fucking hard it is to make it, even in country music, which is easier than any other genre. It's so difficult. And I'm sure these guys were grinding it out, Frank, and fucking local gigs and all this. My wife just said they're super close. And now it's all crumbling and falling apart because one of them likes Trump and the other one doesn't. It seems crazy.
They're gonna be fine on their own, though. They're big enough that if they split up and they do their own thing, Tyler Hubbard is one of them. I forget the other guy's name, but
no, Georgia and Florida, I think.
Oh, Florida and Georgia, they'll be fine. They're gonna be fine. I think Florida Georgia line is big enough that the two of them.
Hold on, let me back up. Let me get my wife on this. Frank is saying, and he does technically work for a country station, so he knows. He says that Florida and Georgia are going to be okay on their own. You agree with that? She says no.
She says what?
She says no.
She says that you think they're not. I think, regardless of what kind of, I think just because they split up, if they come out with something in the next couple of months or something, if they release something quick, the hype right now is, strike while the iron's hot. I think the buzz about them right now is pretty high. And if they come up with something now, either one of them, it'll be big.
And Robin is the only one who cares. Finally got their names. It's Florida Man and Georgia Line. There you go. Thank you, Robin.
I guess Florida Georgia Line is better than Man Line.
Now, my wife said that Sugarland split up and the guy Christian doesn't do anything. I disagree, though, because didn't he produce a whole bunch of shit? And maybe he doesn't. Yeah, but maybe he doesn't want to, though. She's doing whatever the hell she wants.
Guys, if you can, keep it civil in the chat. I know there's disagreements. You could debate all you want in the chat, but the name calling, that's we don't like to do that here.
Who's name calling?
You got some name calling in the.
If it's J Sabs, ban her, please. Somebody finally.
It's not J Sabs.
Oh,
but let's keep the name calling down, guys. We're adults here.
Well, that's just a bit of a stretch.
I'm just saying.
There's a mini croissant cereal. How do you say it? Say that word in the middle.
Well, if you're not using the French accent, the French would say croissant.
Yeah, I know it's croissant.
Croissant.
But we say like croissant, like
croissant. That's fine.
Yeah. So there's this place in Brooklyn, Frank, that they're making this mini croissant cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're charging $50 basically for like a box of it, but it comes in a bag.
How big is this? Is it like the same size as like a regular cereal box?
No, I would say it's about half the size.
Half the size.
Yeah.
And they're charging $50.
$50, but it is Brooklyn. And you also have to keep in mind that it's like it's a little shop, and so they're sitting there with.
They're probably making it handmade themselves, that kind of thing.
Not small people or dwarfs, if you will. I think they still like that. I'm talking about tiny fucking elf magic people. They're sitting there just folding the little croissant doughs.
That's
staying in their mini elf ovens. You know how even if you got 100 of those fuckers, they still got to be fed. You got to keep them in right conditions.
You got to have
money,
and they've got to have time to make the cookies in the trees too. So,
yeah, well,
if they're doing that,
some of those trees lit on fire.
Yeah, I don't know how they prevent that. But croissant, I don't know. I feel like immediately it would be soggy as hell, right? Wouldn't it? Like, there's got to be some kind of way that it's not an actual croissant, you know? That it's
I
like a cereal version, like when they had the waffle cereal, I forget what it's called, but it's not actual waffles, it's like a cereal piece,
mhm.
Like I can't like Cookie Crisp is not actual cookies, it's cereal. Um there's got to be a way that because if you just dump croissants in milk, I feel like that's just going to be a soggy mess.
So I mean, it's a fun story. It's a husband and wife team. They started selling these things out of their apartment in Cobble Hill. So then they opened up a bakery and they called it Lay Apartment 4F.
Lay apartment 4F.
Yeah, because they were in apartment 4F,
Okay.
which is where this started. But the demand has gotten so huge that now people line up a half hour before the bakery opens. Now,
Imagine, wow.
I first saw this because a girl on TikTok came on my feed and she's like, I got up early and I went there and she was like, it wasn't that bad of a line. So I don't know. I've seen pictures of the line. So I guess the line does happen. I don't know if it's only like a weekend thing or whatever it is, but that one girl on TikTok made it there just fine without having to wait on the line. But she did go really, really early in the morning.
Okay. And she bought a $50. Imagine a line coming out of your place and you're selling $50 half bags of cereal.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, they only make like this article says 5. I heard it like 10. It's hard to make these fucking things.
Yeah, I can't imagine it be like they're not mass producing these. I'm sure it's not like out of a machine where they're just pumping these things out. Again, it's probably, did they use the word artisanal? My guess is that it's in there somewhere.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
They make it like a regular croissant. It's just that it's tiny, and they
Right.
roll it out. Then they dehydrate them. They roll them in cinnamon sugar, and then they bake them. So that's what makes them kind of crunchy.
Crunchy instead that they'll take longer to absorb them up. It actually sounds really good.
It does, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks fucking good too. Like you just see these little mini croissants; they look fucking delightful.
Is there a name for it? Or what the name for the, or is it just croissant cereal or something?
Mini croissant cereal, yeah,
Mini croissant cereal. All right.
yeah.
And what do you get? It's probably like 2 bowls of it out of one bag, I would imagine. That'd be good for 2.
Yeah, I think you probably get around 2 bowls per bag.
Imagine having a $25 bowl of cereal. That seems a little ridiculous.
It's so fucking stupid, but I got to tell you, as we're sitting here talking about it,
It's intriguing.
I would maybe pay for it because I do like splurging on stupid, like a food experience. If you tell me a food experience is like whatever, I will probably pay for it because there's something I don't mind splurging on that.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel like. That's what everybody who's lining up is thinking. This is, I'm sure people, well, maybe are people lining up every day to get that same bag of, or is it like a one-time buy? Do you go there once?
I mean, I think you can go there once because so they're only making 7 or 8 a day.
Oh, that's what the number is, 7 or 8 bags?
Yeah. Again, the article says like 5, but I think I saw somewhere they make 10 a day. So,
Oh, that's all right. Well,
split the difference.
I mean, if it's getting this much hype, they gotta up their game here. Let me see what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I got it up on the screen for everybody. It's from their Instagram.
Oh, see that looks amazing.
They do look kind of good, don't they?
That looks really good. Not gonna lie, that looks amazing. It's just a bowl full of croissant. A croissant by itself is so rich and buttery. Imagine that's why it's got to be so expensive. It's just a bowl full of those things. It's just that's insane. And now with this publicity that they're getting from this, they're gonna have to start churning out these things like 24/7.
How fucking great is a croissant for breakfast? I mean,
Yeah.
even in the bagel capital of the world that we live in and we're raised in, I maybe that's what it is because it's kind of so common for us. I still, it's a treat to have a croissant in the morning.
They are wonderful.
What's more luxurious, a croissant or a scone?
I don't know if scones. I mean, luxurious. I'd say croissant, but I don't know. It depends on the scone, and because there's all different kinds of flavored scones. Croissant, you get a croissant. It's like one flavor, right?
You and my wife are on the same page. I'm on the other side. I'm a scone guy. That's more luxurious.
Scones are great. I'd say they're neck and neck. I don't think one's better than the other. I think they're both really good. But with the croissant, you got to put something on it. Or, I mean, you could eat it by itself. That's fine. But in most cases, you put something, butter or whatever on it. But
What's
with
your
a scone,
go-to? Cuddles, come over here.
with a scone, it's already in.
What's your go-to croissant setup? If Frank's going to hell with himself on that croissant tip, what are you doing? What's the situation? What are you putting on there?
I don't have them often enough to have like a regular thing. But if I get a croissant, depends on where I get it. Like if I get it from like a restaurant, I'll just put butter on it, eat it like that, nice like a piece of bread. But if I'm getting like again, I could go to like a breakfast place and get like eggs on it or something, and eat it like that. That's fine. Get like a nice egg sandwich on a croissant. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, the chat's winning right now. Chocolate croissant. Put a little chocolate in there. It's pretty good.
That works.
But I'm with Bird. A ham and cheese croissant. I don't think it gets any better than that.
Ham and cheese sounds good.
You get a nice Swissy cheese, a good ham, and that croissant, you're fucking set.
Chocolate croissant. Set. Little Nutella. Maybe some Nutella on that croissant.
Nah. But I gotta tell you something. I think the scone is more luxurious because of the flavor possibilities are pretty endless.
Oh, it's more versatile. Sure.
We've just named all the croissant situations. You got your butter, maybe your butter with jam. You got your ham and cheese and your chocolate. That's it.
You get egg sandwiches, stuff like that. You can put on there. All the variations of breakfast sandwiches.
I'll give you an egg sandwich. Fine, because I'm feeling generous.
Thank you.
I had a croissant over vacation. It was a raspberry vanilla croissant. I mean scone. It was to fucking die for.
Scones, man, you get a good scone, it makes your day.
Scones are like pizza though. Even a shitty scone, you're doing pretty all right for yourself. Yeah. You're like, this is a little dry and shitty, but it's still pretty good.
It's still better than not having a scone.
It's better than a bagel. Bagel's delicious. It's the common man food. When you're getting a little fancy schmancy, I'd say croissant and then scone. That's where
I'm trying to think of a place around me that has scones. I can't even. I'm sure there's a bakery that I just haven't done my scone research on.
Should we go get scones tomorrow for breakfast instead of bagels?
It's funny. There was someone on the last show in the chat was saying, I don't remember who it was, but they said in the chat, every time I watch the show, I leave hungry. Every time, because I feel like we always end on a food thing, or we always wind up at least talking about food in one of these things.
Well, they used to the old morning show. They used to call Twitter Bill and all them used to call it WFAT or WEAT.
That's pretty good
because we always went up on food.
That's funny.
When I was in Jersey, the legendary music club where Bruce Springsteen performed, the Stone Pony. It's like right on the water, right by our hotel. They opened up a bakery. They called it the Scone Pony. Fucking phenomenal.
So that the advertising just writes itself there.
Just a word pun and great baked goods. I mean,
you're all set.
What could be better?
I know, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm starving. I had dinner.
Yes.
Evident by I'm gonna eat these garlic knots behind me.
My wife said to me, she goes, I'll let you put it in my butt, or we could go to the Scone Pony, get some treats. I go, let's live it up. Let's go get those treats.
See, now there's I'd like to hear the actual testimony from the other party.
You don't turn down butt play every day, Frank. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a good situation.
This has got to be a bet. Uh-oh, she's coming in to defend herself. Where is she?
She's not getting up. She's laying down. She's had a day. My poor wife. I'll tell you what. You don't have to go through this. She's taking it hard. The kid's back to school.
She's not dealing with it well.
She's not dealing with it well. My boy has gone into second grade. The big leap was my girl. She went from pre-K, which is only just a couple of hours in a day, to kindergarten, where she's doing the full day. She's on the bus with my son. Big girl, she said, and my wife is like, it's fucking, by the way, I want to tell you something that's going to cost me butt play for tonight. This is the same woman that wanted to ship our kids off to sleepaway camp.
At the beginning of the summer?
Or maybe regular camp that's here on I don't know how it works, but she wanted to send the kids to camp. And I said, no. And in the middle of the summer, I was like, this is a mistake. She's going to kill somebody. Me, the kid, I'm not even sure who, but we're not all making it out of the summer. And sure enough, here we are. Now that the kids are back in school, she's like, I miss the kids.
Well, I mean, they're back. It's like a full time. You said your daughter, it's full time. It's like 9 to 3 or whatever.
Yeah, she's going the whole day. She's gone the whole day. And now my wife is like, that was my wife's her mini-me, her little partner. She was, even though my wife, she would go do her job and, Cece would be in school for a while. It was still just kind of a little bit of the day. Now it's kind of feels like the whole day. You add a couple of hours onto it and all of a sudden it's the whole day.
Yeah. I mean, so all right. So your wife is not handling it well. How is your daughter handling it? She's like, bye, mommy. Or is she like, I don't want to go?
Oh, she was a trooper. She was so excited because she would go to the bus stop every morning as my son got on the bus.
Yeah.
So she saw the bus driver. And so we were like, it's going to be you one day. We were, pumping her up for it. So she was all excited to finally get there. She wasn't sad at all. But I will say they only had 2 days. They had yesterday and today. And now they have a 3-day weekend, obviously. She came home today and she was fucking done. Like she was exhausted.
Like a marathon now compared to
it knocked the shit out of her. She fell asleep on my father on the couch. Well, he had MSNBC on, so I put anybody to sleep. But still, she was right out. She couldn't handle it. She couldn't hack it. She was sleeping.
Is that good? They come home, they're exhausted. You put them right to bed, or is that like a not a good idea?
It'll be okay because we'll get to a point where she'll be tired at 7 o'clock. You don't want them tired at 4 o'clock because then they're unbearable until they get to 7 o'clock.
Right. And then if they sleep, they'll probably be up after that for the rest of the.
Yeah, you don't want to when I noticed she was sleeping, my wife ran down right away and woke her up. She's like, it's 6 o'clock. She can't.
Yeah. She won't sleep the rest of the night.
Yeah, exactly. She got her right up right away. So,
all right.
Or doping me. I was like, I think she's sleeping. She's like, let me go be a parent.
What's really ironic? The fact that we're close to the end of the show and the internet's been fine.
It's been fine, right? I keep waiting for you to say something to me, and it's fine, right?
The last 10 minutes, it's been fine.
Cocksuckers.
I know.
I swear to God.
But listen, it's Labor Day weekend. We got a nice long weekend ahead of us. Yes. J Sabs is still on vacation for some reason.
She's on vacation. Now listen, we will not be on Monday. We'll observe the holiday. But on Wednesday we will recap her ridiculous, because here's the thing, remember we talked about where she wanted to throw herself her own birthday party.
Yep.
And invite all of us just so she can get the gifts. She's done it.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we abused her, more you than me, but on this show, to try and bully her not to do it, she's still doing it. She's going through with it. So we'll be doing that on Sunday.
And maybe I'll do since we're off Monday, I'll do a nice little video at wherever we are.
That would be nice.
For the members, maybe. Well, and if you're a member, sign up to become a member. You get the special insider videos. We get all the special perks of being a member.
Look at
You
this,
get to,
directed by Frank too. He's stepping. I didn't agree to this. He's the one who wants to do
if
it.
it's all right. I mean, I'll run it by J Sabs. So I'll do a nice little video. Nothing major. You know, little behind the scenes. We're at the J Sabs party video.
Yeah, J-Sap's birthday, 76.0.
Yeah, holy crap. I mean, I feel like her birthday was at least 4 months ago.
It was so long ago, I don't even remember when it was. Not that I knew what it was at all at any point, but
I mean, a person that's had this many birthdays should be like 80 by now. I don't understand.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that'll be fun. So Sunday is that. Monday we're off. Labor Day. Hope everybody has off. If not, sorry to hear that, but you know, we're with you. We got all these past hundreds of episodes. You could check us out while you're working.
Robin, I want to know why you're in Twitter jail.
Yeah, what happened there?
It feels like you're a lot things. Getting into these social media jails feels a lot more common now than it ever was before.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yet when we need to stop a mass shooter, can't quite get there. But stopping somebody from being humorous on the internet, they got that locked down.
They got that nailed. I mean, that's just to be fair, that's a click on a computer. The mass shooter thing. I don't know why it's as complicated as it is, but we can't seem to figure that one out.
I saw this. I did something that I don't love to do. I am always on the side of a creator, Frank. Doing what we do, I always feel like go with the creators, you know? Even when they're not so great, don't be a dick about it. Try and support them. But I was on TikTok earlier and I saw this video. And then after I swiped past it, because I watched the majority of it because I couldn't believe it, they ask you if you liked or disliked. A thing popped up and it was like, did you like this video? You know? Like it was like, it was good, it was not good, I didn't like it, it was not or whatever the fuck I said. And I gave it a negative thing.
Okay.
And it was this white guy, kind of like my size white guy. And he's going up to black people in a store, various stores. And he'll just be like, give me that box of cereal, boy. Right? Get me those shoes, boy. Now, you've got to be really talented.
That's not talent. What is that? That's stupid.
Well, a good prank. You got to be talented to pull off a good prank. A good, like, it's a hidden camera thing. You got to be really good at that. So I watched the first one, and when he finished, there was no so then the second one comes up. He's talking to the second guy now, and it was get me those shoes. All right, that's what he was doing. And I'm like, okay, there better be some fucking crazy payoff here.
Right.
There was no, like, there, you know, like that moment where they go, oh, we're just kidding, or oh, you know, whatever it is, or, you know, there was no payoff. On top of the fact of it's really not that creative. There's nothing endearing about it.
It's stupid, it's racist. And it's insane. Why would you do that for content? That's not smart. That's a dumb video. I'm glad you gave it the worst rating.
Again, like in those situations, you can go to weird places. I don't mind toting lines. I don't think it's that crazy to get a little nutty or draw somebody to the point where they're going to punch you in the face. That could be entertaining too. You know, where you get somebody so fucking crazy. And a couple of times, but that didn't even have, like, a couple of guys were kind of like, you better be fucking joking. Like the guy who this one guy got upset and he was like, I got to walk away from you because I'm going to fucking punch you in the face.
Yeah, that's the kind of response that kind of thing would get. I mean,
it's not even funny though. There's nothing.
It's not funny. It's stupid.
When you get a guy to almost punch you in the face, that could be funny, but there wasn't even, like, I don't know. Boy, when you get that back and you cut it all together, you got to say to yourself, well, this just isn't good.
It's not.
Didn't come out
funny. It's not funny. It's not creative. It's racist. I mean, that's like there are other ways to make comedy, and that's a dumb way to do it. If you're trying,
I don't
all
think
right. So
the guy.
what's that?
I don't think that the guy was racist. I think he thought, well, I can do this to be funny. It just wasn't good.
No, I don't. Maybe he's not a racist, but he said a racist thing. I don't know. Does that makes you whatever? That's a racist thing to say. I'm sorry.
The other thing that bothers me about it is usually like when I see stuff like that, I could go, if they did this way, it'd probably been really good. And I still haven't been able to crack that code. I don't know, I was really strange. I also don't really love
now we're losing you again. We're
What?
losing you again.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I don't really love the hidden camera stuff to begin with.
Yeah, some of it's okay. Like the practical jokers, I thought was good.
They're good, but a lot of these people now just are saying crazy stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, it's a hidden camera show. It's a hidden camera show," and there's just some other guy like holding his fucking phone 10 feet away.
Yeah.
It's not even a thing.
It's not
anymore.
a show. It's a guy with a phone.
Why was Robin in Twitter jail? Did we ever find?
Yeah, he said. I'm not sure I understand it, but he said he called Trump WT and in trouble. South Park reference. What's WT?
I don't know.
Call Trump WT. Anybody translate that? I don't know that one. That South Park reference.
Oh, there you go, Frank. You got to write that song.
Hey, glitch me, baby, one more time. Oops, I'm glitching again.
Glitch it real good. That's actually might be the best one because you can then make the dun, 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 sound all glitchy.
Or the glitch is back, Elton John.
Oh, the glitch is back.
Is back. I think that would be good. Anything with bitch, you make it glitch. It's fine.
Frank Biden's a racist. Did you know that?
Oh, I'm glad he cleared that up for us.
I saw this video where Biden was in a store talking to black people saying, "Get that off the shelf for me, boy." Did I mention that it was Joe Biden, or did I forget?
You skipped over that part, yeah.
Yeah. Glitched, glotched, and gagged.
Huh. Glitch.
Itching for glitching.
Okay. All right. Keep them coming, guys. We love puns. A lot of people say, "Oh, puns, whatever." I love a good pun.
I love a pun. I got the need for internet speed.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll take it.
It's hard to top itching for a glitching. We should have saved that to the end.
That's not bad. Yeah.
All right, here we are. I'm near death, and I got it. I almost put in 2 more hours again.
All right, yeah, you got to stop with this. So we're good. Again, become a member. The link's below. It's the join button. You got the Jumpstart Coffee.
Well, hold on. Is it a link button or a join button? Because you said 2 different things.
No, I said we got a link below. It's the join button.
That sounds confusing. Why don't you have a join below?
We got a joining button that links to a member button link. It's got to be your bull. I don't know. Just make sure you join. Become a member. And we do special stuff. You see what... There's 3 different levels. You can read what the perks are for each level. Pick the one that you like. Buy merch. Bird is getting her hoodie delivered. Good stuff. And Anthony's sick, and J Sabs is on vacation.
And Frank is the only one who showed up. He's the only one we have left.
That's it. It's gonna be the Frank show soon. Me and my recliner.
Listen, tune in next week when Frank will give us a tour of his bathroom. It's very exciting.
I could do it. Do we have time? I could do it now. All right. Now we'll save that one for next week.
Pretty nice little Saturday. Not going to show if we have time.
That's nice.
All right, big man. Have a good one.
You too. See you next time.
See you Sunday.
No meat, potato salad.
Ooh, members only show coming up.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.
Produced by Frank. Very exciting.
Yay.